All right, we're going to ask all the chiefs and the dignitaries that are going to be in a lineup. I don't have the list of anything, but it's not my first rodeo, so it doesn't really matter. I've been down that road before with no names and no nothing. Speaking, hey, good to see you, little brother. Come on over here, shake my hand. Don't leave me hanging. Are you reporting or what? Yeah, what channel are we on? APTN. APTN? Put on APTN, CTK, KFC, RCMP, all those ones. Are we going to be live on APTN? Okay, I got to pay my phone bill then. All right, we're going to scramble the Wi-Fi, so all the ones that are going to be on their phones, you can go back to your cars. Yeah. You know how that works. I know how that works. Good to see you, Doghouse. I mean, Jeremy, my bad. My bad. Next year, we're all going to dance. Just put it out there in the world. Anyway, I was flabbergasted over at that White Teepee at all those articles and those stuff that are there. See, we have covers for some of these chairs, dignitaries, and the ones that owe us money. We don't have covers for them. I was kidding. All right, we have some. Who gave me this list? Did you give me this list? You're gonna help. You're gonna have to help me sound out some vowels in here because I don't even know how to say that.
We'll leave the last names for now. Don't worry about it. Zishan. And David. And Daud. So that's a D-A-U-D.
D-A-U-D?
Yeah.
D-A-U-D?
Daud. Yeah.
Daud.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. No problem. If I don't, you owe me tobacco for giving your names.
No, I'll get it for you. Don't worry. There's a store around here that I can grab some for you? Store right over there.
I'll be FSI, Mr. Speaker, today.
All right. Come into the grand entry then. Yeah. We have Mr. Speaker here. We have. Are you chief? Counselor. Get in line up over here. Get in line. What's your? I should have all the chiefs' names. They're gonna get them over here anyway. All the chiefs' names and all the ones that ran for chief that just about got in. We want those ones too. Yeah. We don't want to leave anybody out. You know what I mean? And what are these guys called again? Wolf Creek. 2 times. I got to say 2 times, otherwise I'll forget it. Wolf Creek. If anybody has a spare war bonnet, I need one up here. Old ways, this scrounging and begging. All chief and council, dignitaries, also secretary, I need a list of all the leaders. All right, they're doing that right now. You know, at any given powwow, you announce the royalty, but they write it themselves, and then you try hard to read them. And then it's the parents that get mad, but the kids are the ones that laugh at you. Hey, what channel are we going to be on the World Wide Web? People are asking already. And Cal, where are you at? Cal? Oh, he's doing some interviewing. All the dead air is going to be sponsored to you by Creeland Gas. For all your discount gas needs, thank you for sponsoring our dead air time. And we're just still hooking up sound, so just kind of be patient a little bit. Just kind of be patient. a little bit. This is a significant time for Piapot. And I'd like to thank my Nishtao for standing there in front of my teleprompter. I can't even read that anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, and we have APTN News. We have CTV News. We have Global News. And we have local gossip news. All those newses. You guys say news or newses? What do you say here? News or newses? When there's more than one newses, huh? I was watching my friend Ovid Mercury. He was golfing yesterday. Oh man, he's got a whole set of golf clubs in a bag, but he wears two on his feet. He kicks the ball when it's too far when no one's watching. Old ways, old ways. While we're waiting, does anybody have crushed choke cherries for sale? Put it out there. Huh? You have some? All right, we already have some crushed choke cherries for sale. Those aren't scrapers, those are smooth jam. No razor blades in those ones. Let me wear that now? Yeah. I don't wear white though. It shows black. All right, all the ones that want to sit in these seats in the front right here, we have a lot. Uh-oh. We have the most eligible auntie in the house. Good to see you in the house. Oh, my goodness. Been eons. Did you want to get on APTN? Stand at the back of me over here. All right, all the ones that are wanting to get in on the anyway, I got a T-shirt out of this thing. I said, don't give me white. It shows the black. I'm burnt. All the chiefs and dignitaries were getting their names, even if you just about got in. Oh, no, not that bad. Are you coming in, Blaine? Are you coming in? Bonnet keeper? How you doing? You know, I would have missed this thing. I would have missed it. And hats off to two people from Brokenhead. Holy smokes. I was getting this is it too. I was getting my coffee and hey, well, you got a nice dress on. Where are you going? I said, we're going to Piapot. Doink. Holy cow. I can't believe it. I was saved by those two. I'm going to get them a coffee, I think. All right, let's warm up a song. Let's warm up, guys. Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek, give us a warm-up song. We're going to warm up song there as you get some more names there for the grand entry. So, Wolf Creek, hookah. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, I scored a coat. Now I just need some Wranglers. And holy smokes. I must have looked ugly. Here, wear this. Way to go. Yeah, does it have a zipper? It'll take out an eye if I zipper it up.
Do we want to do leads?
We're in our homeland. They love you.
Thank you. Oh, it does. Even got a cell phone pocket, and it's in this this COVID wrap. All right, I gotta wait for. Oh, Cal, I don't know. You dig out the worst in me. Are we ready? Are we ready? Where's the dignitary list? You got it? There's still some more. Are you still writing? We want to be just right. We want to be just right. We don't want to get over here and find out you got a race over there. So once the Eagle staff comes in, we want everybody to stand to honor our Eagle staffs. To honor our, what's this thing here in the way for? To honor our Eagle staffs and our chiefs and the war bonnet, the chiefmanship. And we have a story on a lot of these stuff, and we like to share when we have a chance to share. But at the same time, I gotta wait for the perfect time, the perfect timing of it. Like today, I was at Tim Hortons. That was the perfect time, right there. Usually, I don't really stop at Tim Hortons, but this time I stopped, and the coffee gods are with me, and I met these two young couple. I don't know if they're a couple. They weren't holding hands, so I just kind of assumed that they were a couple, right? So Indian gossip and rumor goes fast, boy. So I didn't say nothing, Cal. I didn't say nothing, just in case. Good to see Jeremy in there in the grand entry. Now, if you haven't been into a powwow before, dancers, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right? And when you get good, you get faster. First, you gotta get good. We have chiefs from all over Treaty 4 area in the house. We have Cal. You're from Muskeg Lake, where all the muskrats live, right where he is. That's where he's from. All right. So once I get some names, and we'll go with that. Holy Blaine, I was just close of missing this event, this historic event. I was just, oh my goodness. Good to see Yellowbird here with us today, and looking good. And I had a good visit with him. He said he is sighting in his 7mm. He said hunting season. He's not a berry picker. He's a gatherer. Just for your information, while they're waiting for names over there, I know it's hunting season out, and over at Carry the Kettle, we process our own meat, but we don't smoke meat and Carry the Kettle. You know that, right? We can't smoke our sausages, and we can't smoke hides. Because we tried to smoke a sausage, it was too soggy to light. We didn't get a buzz, so you guys can smoke away if you want. Old ways. All right, here we go. We got the Holy Grail right in the hand. All right, people in the cameras, wherever you want to go, sit down and find a place. Once again, this is the most historic event. This is we have something written right here.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to please stand and please rise as we go to bring in our Eagle staff representing the Piapot First Nation, 150th signing of our treaties. We have our chiefmanship in the house, Treaty 4 and visitor, all in the grand entry. Here we go. Bring us in dancing. and gentlemen, when we have our Eagle staffs in the house, we recognize those that passed on before us. So we will stand for one push-up, one verse, to let our relatives come from the spirit world to gather, stand beside us, and walk in this beautiful grand entry. We'll do those things so that we do things right, to appease the grandfathers in the spirit of the Powwow world and our First Nations of Piapot. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make the Eagle staffs on the move. Welcome into Grand Entry. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, the leadership continues that fight to keep our treaties signed and to recognize them, to put them on the table so they'll be visible for our yet unborn, so that we will always have this light that we live in, this freedom that we live in, this healthiness that we live. The signatory chiefs are honored today. I would like to acknowledge those of you who came to the Piapot First Nation for the 150th commemoration event here at Piapot. Also, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of history about the RCMP. It was signed in the traditional red serge, and that $5 goes a long ways. And the fight for our chiefmanship and our leaders is to make sure that when the handshakes are put forward with that $5 bill, with those flags and those bullets, they're put together with a handshake with the RCMP and the red surge. As they pass you by, put your brown hand and pay them off with a beautiful round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please remain standing as we go to the elder of our community. Ladies and gentlemen, he's followed these traditional ways for many, many years. He grew up in these ways, and he follows these ways. Not only that, he teaches these ways, and he's a language keeper. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Yellowbird for our invocation for today. Ladies and gentlemen, Murray Ironchild.
Pitama kita tamskat na naskumt na kape ayego ta asay gig seben ki opnana uspagan magego mo ta ke apet sig ka gi semon ana mo o mani apet sistan
Ooh, thank you. Now we're going to go to, did you want to go for a flag song? Is that the flag song? Okay, Arena Director says a flag song. We have no, if we have any veterans in the house here, raise your hand. We'll go to a veterans call. We have any veterans in the lineup? Okay, flag and victory. Flag and veterans. 4 and 4. As we sing our flag song, the flag song from this community, the flag song from Treaty 4. For our veterans here that put themselves in harm's way, and for our treaty that they didn't have to go, but they chose to go, to come back to be mistreated, and to get land that was already theirs. But they went for the freedom of our children and our children yet unborn, not being selfish. We have our very own First Nation veterans across Canada. And it states in our treaty that we didn't have to go to war. But we fought alongside our non-native comrades to do a job to save our education, our rights, our treaty rights, to save our land, to save our water, to save our air. To this day, we still fight. Ever go away. As we go back to the drum for victory, victory song, victory. Dance and play, people, hookah. All the people, can you sit down and just relax? And when we say some names, put your brown hands together, pay them off with a round of applause. These names right here. Bringing in the Piapot Eagle staff, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Daryl Obie. Bringing in the Chief Piapot Eagle staff, a big round of applause for Cliff Campbell. Flags, bringing in the Treaty 4 flag, a big round of applause for Al Obie. Bringing in the Union Jack, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Braden Omiso. Bringing in the Every Child Matters flag, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Carson Sugar. Bringing in the Piapot flag, a big round of applause for Royce Bird. Bringing in the Saskatchewan flag, a big round of applause for Robert Manty. Bringing in the Métis flag, a big round of applause for Nick Ironchild. Bringing in the Canadian flag, a big round of applause for Jeremy LaValle. Introducing our veteran in the lineup, a big round of applause for veteran Tracy Desjardins. Introducing, ladies and gentlemen, we ask them to step forward so we know who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, our host chief of this beautiful reservation we call Piapot, Chief Mark Fox. Introducing his council, his headman, head lady, ladies and gentlemen, Councillor Harold Kashawatam. Councillor Marilyn Kashawatam. Councillor Crystal Crow. Councillor Tamara Desjardins. Councillor Jalen Francis. Councillor John Desjardins. Councillor John Desjardins. Still campaigning? Councillor William Carrier. Councillor Nicole Crow. Introducing chiefs, visiting chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. Chief Tony Travers. Did you wrote your own reservation? Like, are you a doctor? Because I can't read it. I'm gonna try my best. First station. What did you say? Canoe. He can't even say it. Anyway, let's give him a round of applause. He's right there. We'll say it later. I couldn't read it, but I couldn't hear you either. Chief Fabian Iron Eagle Pasqua. Chief Carolyn Wahoba Nikanit. Councillor Roberta Francis. Chief Charlie Bear Chekachaz. Museum Advisor, Indigenous Relations, Reconciliation, Tobiah Harps. Where are you at? Where are you at, Tobiah? Huh? Is it Tabitha Harper? You know, I just want to explain a little bit too. I do a lot of powwows, and I got to read all the royalty names, and they write to themselves, and I have a hard time reading them. I sound them out. I use every letter. I'm from Saskatchewan, so I say every Saskatchewan right to the end. You're missing 2 letters. I'm just saying. All right. FSIN Chief, ladies and gentlemen, Chief David Pratt, Nishtau. Brand spanking new Nishtau. Chief Frank Dieter, Papicases. Headman Alan Bird, Papicases. Headman Stuart McNabb, Papicases. Headman Matt Leroy, Papicases. Albert Brabant, Legal Counsel. FSIN Blanket. Our hero, our golfer, our champion, ladies and gentlemen, the future past chief of Canada, Ovid Mercury. There he is over there. FSIN Vice Chief, Chief Gary McCollum. Is it Gary? Craig? C-R-A-R-Y. Okay, I got it. Okay. Chief Melissa Trevita. Muscapeting. Council Terrence Capo. Councillor Thomas Pratt. The Mayor of Southie, Greg Adelman. Did I say it right? Did I say it right? The only Mooney out of Wasitcho in there, I said his name right. One Hop, Thomas Benjo, Consulting. One Hop, or is one hop or one hoop? One hoop. You're missing an O. Cabinets Delorme. Chief Shelley Bear. Ochapowace. Chief Roger Redmond, Standing Buffalo. Corporal Dale Speckem, Southie. Did I say your name right? We'll fix it on that speeding ticket in my glove box, right? Constable Mayan Weichel, RCMP, Southie. Let's give her a round of applause. Sergeant Dwayne Whitford, Indigenous Policing. Where are you at? He's undercover. Yee. Sergeant Danny Case, Indigenous Policing. And ladies and gentlemen, MLA Board, MLA Brad Grassweller. Where are you at? There he is. Did I say your name right? Close? Don't mad. I always want to say that. All right. And we have right here in the front, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't going to say your last name. I'm going to do my best, all right? The Muslim community. Bendiamini Ahmed. Is that you? Not even close, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we have Vice Chief Dutch Lara in the house. We have FHQ Chief Jeremy Fourhorns in the house. I'd like to apologize. Those weren't on the list, but we got them. We got them. Who else am I missing over there? Okay. Now I'm going to say again. Mahdi Riham. Close enough? Zishan Bashir. David Ahmad. Did I, not even close, right? You guys got to owe me tobacco for giving you names. Fishing Lake Council. Where's the Fishing Lake Council? Wave your hand if you're here, Fishing Lake Council. You must have a girlfriend from over there. Why you said that? Oh. Just taking care of business. Also, we'd like to thank Tom and Cabinets for working closely with FHQ. I'd like to call up some speakers. I know Cal is going to help me out. Cal, I'd like to. I think Cal is going to be on the World Wide Web or something like that. First of all, come on up here, chiefs, and come and gather up some chairs. I think that's the arrangement. Ladies and gentlemen, once again over here we have we'll be beginning a sacred pipe ceremony. That was already said. That was already done. We got grand entries done, opening remarks and prayer. That's done. Elder Murray's done. All the chiefs, we'd like to ask you to come up here. We know we'd like to acknowledge Ovid Mercurdy, our knowledge keeper and our past AFN chief, providing historical overview of the Piapot First Nation and treaty history. We'd like to ask those to come up here to the stage. Once again, every now and again, when you have a big gathering, a big powwow, every now and again, there's always something missing. But that's just the way it should be. That's the way it unfolds. So, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way up to the stage right here, we'll set the stage for our leaders and our speakers to acknowledge this historical day. Come on up here, chiefs, and our host chiefs. Also, when this project was first started, there were many discussions whether we should change it or not, or whether we should design should come forward. We realize that so many in the community members understand the importance of meaning of the Piapot flag, and we'll explain that later on as we go. It carries songs, teachings, and the voice of those who came before us. All that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be explaining a lot of stuff. And if you like what you saw so far, put your hands together. Let's give them a big round of applause. What did they say that reserve was? What was that name? Huh? Visiting chief. What was his name? What was that chief? What was the name? Oh, there it is. I'm going to say his reservation. I'm going to say his.
Keno just gone First Nation. Huh? Keno just gone First Nation.
Keno just gone.
Yeah, Keno just gone.
Keno just gone First Nation. We got it. Okay. I'd like to call Thomas up here. Come up here, Thomas. And also, all those, if you're looking at all those empty seats, this is not our first powwow. When the sun is in their eyes, they'd rather sit in the shade. That's why they're over here. We're already brown enough. We're going to kind of slide over here, unless all you guys help us move the stage and we could turn it this way. I was just teasing you. I would like to ask our host chief of the Piapot First Nation to come up here and give us some opening words and some welcoming words for our visitors to come into his nation, to come in here. We come in here with good hearts, good feeling. So I'd like to ask Chief Mark Fox to come up here, and then I'll go to our tribal chief to say a few words on behalf of all the chiefs in the tribal. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Mark Fox. Check.
Check. Check. Throw that mic in the garbage, how he said. But anyway, thank you very much, Howie. First of all, I'd like to give thanks and start my my words here that I'm going to speak today in acknowledging the Creator for blessing us today with a beautiful day here. The sun is shining, it's bright, the love is upon us. So I give thanks to our Creator, God. I also want to give thanks to our Kateak, Kakiao that all are here. I thank you very much. And our members, all our elders, all the members that are here. I want to give thanks to our elder, Murray Arnchild, for lifting the pipe today in the teepee, for a beautiful blessing here today, and acknowledging everybody that was here and praying for the safety of everybody in their travels today. I give thanks to Murray Arnchild, Elder Art Francis, for saying the prayers here today, and all the Scopio Suck that are working to make this celebration happen. Also, I have so many things I want to say. I'm going to probably forget some, but someone speaking behind me is going to probably remember what I want to say. But today is a really big day, a big honor to stand here amongst our nation and amongst all the visiting chiefs from all the nations and all the respected leaders that come from all the communities and all the visitors, the news media. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't want to start naming names because if I forget somebody, then somebody might think he forgot me. So I'm just going to welcome you all and thank you for coming and acknowledging this day. This day today that we're celebrating is of our original chief, Chief Piapot. Chief Piapot was a strong advocate across the prairies, across Canada, North America, for his people. He was a strong leader. The place that he eventually came here to was the Qu'Appelle Valley. Our people originated in the Cypress Hills. But at that time, the Indian agents, the Royal Mounted Police, Canada, didn't want our people living together amongst us tribes because of they're afraid of uproar and that our people would come back and maybe war. Just want to pull up some of my notes here. I never use notes, but today I'm gonna because I have so much things on my mind today. Who was he? Who was Chief Piapot? Chief Piapot was a strong Cree leader. His name was Flash in the Sky. He was a Cree Assiniboine of the Plains Cree. He had linkage to the Assiniboine people. He was born in 1816 and he passed away in 1908. He was a respected Cree Assiniboine chief. He fought hard for the people at a time of major upheaval on the prairies across this land. He is, I'm not going to say he was because he's still here in spirit. He is a known, strong spiritual leader, a vision holder who guided his people through times of great change when the settlers first set foot upon this land. Treaty 4 in 1874, Chief Piapot was not present of the treaty signing in Fort Qu'Appelle. Initially, he refused to sign treaty because he saw problems with the treaty promises, and later only adhering to immense pressure to sign treaty. He insisted that the treaty was meant to be peace, a sharing agreement, not a surrender of the land that we live on today. Not a surrender, land was never surrendered. He spoke strongly against the government policies from Canada that would stop or restrict the Cree way of life upon the nations. He protected our Cree traditions, our governance today, our ceremonies when they were being outlawed by the Indian Act. He resisted and opposed the push of the assimilation that Canada brought to the Cree people and to try and put us into a settler society. He also predicted that his people would face hardship, but one day reclaim that strength and that sovereignty for who we're supposed to be, to walk this land and to be the caretakers of this land that our forefathers, our chiefs, our people once roamed freely and lived off of. To our nation, he left us a strong legacy through the most important thing that he lived by day amongst our people, and that was ceremony. Today we still have our big lodge, we still have our sweat lodge, many ceremonies we still have. We have the songs that we sing that are a few hundred years old that were kept by Chief Piapot and our people. He brought us to this beautiful place here in the Qu'Appelle Valley because of the medicines, because of the water that once flowed through the river here that was beautiful, that is now contaminated. They hunted. There was fish, there was ducks, there was all sorts of wildlife here in the valley. Today we remember him. As a strong leader who defended the Cree ways. And I say he defended all ways of all First Nations across this land, whether we're Cree, Sioux, Assiniboine. He defended. His teachings still guide our focus here on our nation through culture, ceremony, sovereignty, and protection of the land of the people. I will share that little bit about our chief. We have a monument where he's laid to rest up on top the Qu'Appelle Valley here. He wanted to be buried laid to rest where he could look over and watch his people. There's a big monument up there. We have somebody here with a side-by-side. If anybody wants to visit it, they'll take you up there. I also want to give thanks to our former Chief of Canada, Ovid McCready, who fought hard for what I just said about our chief. I thank you. I want to give thanks to all our former chiefs of our nation, our formal council, headmen, headwomen that sit here today. I want to give thanks to Cadmus Delorme, former chief of Cowses, who did a lot of good work. Our drum group here, I didn't know they changed their name, but they're formerly known as Dakota Cree. I thank them for coming and singing. I thank our council. They work hard. Councillor Jaylene Francis, Councillor Crystal Crow. They did all the planning with this for this event with One Hoop. I got to thank One Hoop and their team are so great to work with, and everything that they've done to make this special, beautiful day happen. I thank you, our council, our leadership, and One Hoop. Hats off to you. Thank you very much. Thank our sound system, Leon Wolf. Also, I would like to thank our brothers from the Muslim community. They've come to a few of our events here. They invited me to an event, and I'm going to finally go because I missed a couple that I was invited to. So I'm going to honor you and come into your event at your... everybody that's here, you can go. So, what else do I want to say? I have so much I want to say here today. We have some gifts that we're going to be handing out. This is what I want to talk about. I want to give thanks to Tabitha Harper. You want to stand up for a sec? Tabitha Harper and all the other people from the Manitoba Museum. Are you sitting here back there? Can you stand up and give a wave? These ladies, and KNT, are you sitting in here? Where's KNT? Barb, Daryl, Nadine. They're not in here, but I want to thank them, KNT and our former chief, Murray Arnchild. We did a big repatriation. Barb LaValle and Nadine Obi came to me a few months ago. And they said, Chief, we found, I'm not going to use the word artifacts because that's a Munio term, but I'm going to say we found some belongings of our chief, Piapot, at the Manitoba Museum. There's some pipes in a tent there, leggings, all kinds of belongings of our original chief, Piapot. You're more than welcome to go and look. We repatriated all those belongings back to our nation. They are now in our care, and they will be, so thank you, Manitoba Museum and KNT, for making this happen. When we first started to do the process of repatriating the pipes, when I was first approached, I was afraid to do it because I didn't want to do anything wrong. But our people went into ceremony with the pipe. So all of our belongings of our chief are there. So please go look. All our membership, anybody here, we have 3 free swag all around here. Go and get some, okay, and take it home. With that, I'm going to shut up, or I'm going to be talking here for another good hour. So thank you very much. Nanas kamun. Aho. Hi.
Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, Chief Fox. And now we're going to call up our chief of the FHQ of all our FHQ Chief District, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Jeremy Forhorn.
Thank you, Howie. First of all, I want to acknowledge the prayers, the pipe this morning that was lifted on all of our behalf for this beautiful day, why we're here. I want to acknowledge all the people, not just from Piapot, not just our own people that came, but all the visitors that are here to share this day with us. Because this day is not just about Piapot. It's about acknowledging the treaty relationship that we have with the Crown, and all the things that Chief Piapot and the other leaders did back in that day. You know, a lot of times, when we think about treaty, when we talk about treaty, there's a lot of history in treaty. And I'm really glad, you know, an individual like our former National Chief Ovid Mercury came here today to celebrate this day with us. That's one of the few people in my time since 2008 of participating in leadership here on our nation and then now doing what I'm doing. It's one of the very few people that I really respect what he has to say. Not just because of his age, because he's a gentleman's gentleman now. You know, he's got a lot of years under him, but he's got a lot of great, very knowledgeable experience, practical experience in treaty, in understanding treaty, because in my understanding of treaty, it goes so far as English. I understand treaty as far as the English language can carry me. That Ovid, that man, he understands Cree fluently. So when all those old leaders talked, you know, 50 years ago, and he got to experience that discussion, those ideas, those concepts. Because it's not just treaty on our side, because we, for the most part, understand it as much as we could, as good as we could. But it's also understanding that process of treaty, where it started. Because the process, the whole idea started in another land, on another continent, and came over here. This is an agreed upon process. The colonizing countries were going to carry out treaty. So it's good to understand that process, that discussion that they had over there, to even get them to that point. Not necessarily for our purposes, but we as people, we naturally respect history. We naturally respect truth. And it's very important to understand those pieces. And Ovid is an individual that can very much give us a really good understanding of treaty. When they talk about the spirit and intent of treaty, even in the beginning, I know what spirit means. I know the definition and meaning of that. I even know what intent means. I know the definition and meaning of that. But I didn't know what those two words meant when in the context of treaty. But he is one of our leaders that understands that concept really, really well. So I encourage people to engage with him, to talk with him, and just to listen. Whatever you can absorb, absorb. In our own nation, our chief, the life that he lived, you know, our chief took us into treaty in 1875. This is about 150 years ago now, which is why we're here. But our chief was also a very educated man. He could have been a doctor for his time because of his fluency in Cree, his fluency in Nakota, his fluency in Dakota, and his grasp of Anishinaabe. And there's an article of him in Regina back in his day when there were two men, two warriors were talking. And he was able to say something in that language as well to them. And that's recorded. It was an old Leader Post article. So this is what I mean when he was a very educated man. Not just in languages, but in our ways. You know, he was very knowledgeable in being an Indian, being Neheopuata. And that's one of the reasons I always try and remember to remind myself even. If you go to Carry the Kettle and they have all their former chiefs listed on a memorial, a plaque, Chief Piapot's name is on there as well, because they recognized him as one of their leaders, because we're a shared people. Plains Cree, Assiniboine, allies. This is our territory. So it's really good to see all of you today, especially our visiting leadership. I'm really, really thankful that we have this many visiting leadership come to our nation here and share this day with us. Not just the chiefs, but the council, And like I said, the visitors. It's really, really good to see. And all the things that are happening now. You know, when I come back, because I don't come back too much, but when I do come back and I see the progress happening, I see the things that are happening, the activities that are happening for our people now, it's really, really good to see. It does make me proud. We're moving in a direction. We're doing stuff. You know, on behalf of our 11 nations, which Piapot is a part of, which many of the leaders here are part of, Little Black Bear's band of Cree Assiniboine Cree, Starblanket Cree, Okanese Cree, Papixies Cree, Carity Kettle Nakota, Pasqua Anishinaabe, Muscopeding Anishinaabe, Piapot Cree Assiniboine, Wood Mountain Lakota, Standing Buffalo Dakota, and Nikanit Cree First Nation. Our very diverse tribal council that comes together to support programs and services of our 11 nations. Now, on behalf of our organization, you know, I bring greetings, I bring well wishes. You know, the speaking part is one part of it, but I came for the bouncy castles. And, you know, I really want to thank Chief Fox for his words, because truly, when you're up here and you're here to talk about something very broad yet very specific, it's challenging. And I'm not good at remembering names as well. Acknowledgements of all the chiefs, I always forget people. I always leave a few people out. And I like what he said. I don't want to seem like I'm picking on people or leaving out people. So I'm just going to say I'm glad everybody is here. I'm glad you all are here. Crazy Legs, I see you standing over there. I'm glad you're here as well. You're a long ways from home, but I appreciate that you're here. So with that, I want to thank again everyone for being here. I want to thank our elders. I want to thank our chiefs, our headmen, our council, and everybody that is here a part of today. You know, I look forward to our next anniversary and celebration that we can do this together. So with that again, hi, have a good day.
Let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to save the gift giving. I do believe we're passing out a gift. I'd like to call up our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, FSI in Chief, Chief David Pratt.
Thank you, Tom. Please, Chief, come on. Good morning, everybody. I had to check my watch, make sure it was still morning. First of all, Kitatamskat Tinawa, Nawago, Gamantik, David Pratt, Muscopeding, Ochinya. First of all, I want to acknowledge the pipes that were lifted this morning. Start things off in a good way. I want to acknowledge the elder, Jumbo Murray, that prayed for us to start things off. The drum group, saying those beautiful songs. Good to hear the heartbeat of Mother Earth. All of the chiefs that are here, my colleagues, Vice Chief McCullum, Vice Chief Dutch, Vice Chief Head that could not be here, and Chief Bobby who could not be here because they're at other events. We try to be everywhere. Tribal Chief Fourhorns, Chief Fox, and all your council. All the visiting chiefs, it's good to see all of the chiefs here visiting. Chief from Manitoba that's here visiting too as well. It's good to see you. All of you. And as well, of course, Ovid. Good to see our good friend Ovid for being here. He was here last year for the swearing in of the Chief and Council, and he came back this year. So Piapot must have made a good impression on him. He came back. So we acknowledge you, Chief, for being with us today. Chief Delorme, former Chief of Cowes, for being with us. All the council and the visiting council too from all the other nations, we acknowledge you. The elders that are here, Sylvia, always being front and center and saying the good prayers and being that good kokum for all of us. It's good to be here this afternoon, to be a part of such a historic day. It's an emotional day for many people, for the people of Piapot, because when you think about it, 150 years, that's how old the treaty is. And seeing in that tent over there, and those shouldn't say artifacts, sorry, Chief, those ceremonial pipes that Chief Piapot used was powerful. I felt something when I went there and touched them. And to see you having that project to bring all of your belongings back home, it's powerful. because it shows these little ones and these young ones running around here that you have a powerful, rich history. That we have our own stories and our own narratives and our own history. Sometimes we don't hear it when we go to those Wasijo or Munya schools. We don't hear our own history. Very little. But when we sit with our elders and we see those items, it makes us think of who we are as First Nations people in this country. And that's powerful. I want to acknowledge Barb and the team that are doing that good work. Daryl, Nadine, that are out there searching. And you have more items. Muscapeding was just in Chicago last week, viewing their belongings there too, working on bringing them home. And just starting that process to bring all of these items home back to our people. And building that history, that narrative. And I acknowledge the strength that your chief had, Chief Piapot. You know, he stopped the railroad. Why Canada signed treaties? And this is what we always have to remember. When they signed those treaties, they knew we owned the land. And the only way they could get that railroad to get from Ontario in the east to bring in British Columbia in the west was they had to come and sit with our chiefs and sign treaty. That was the only way that railroad could get through. And it was your chief that blocked the railway from going through. And every time, even till today, when you ride via rail, there's a discount that comes when you show your card. And that's because of Chief Piapot doing what he had to do. Him and Big Bear, years ago, they knew there was unfinished business with the treaties. They knew things weren't being done. Even 10 years after the signing, the Crown, Canada, in lieu of the Crown, was failing in its obligations to meet treaty. Failing in its obligations to implement what was agreed to when they smoked those pipes and lifted them before the Creator. And him and Big Bear had a plan at that time. And they were going to get a big ceremony and bring all the chiefs from north and south and Saskatchewan together to have a big ceremony and to petition the Queen to reopen the treaties. And then Batosh happened. And Canada used that as an excuse to clamp down on our leadership and to put Big Bear and Poundmaker in jail and lock them away. And it took about 50 years for our people to organize again collectively. And that was John Tatusis, John Gambler, Abel Wittich, Mr. Gordon from Pasqua, Drever from the north, got together and said, we need one voice here speaking on treaties. And that's when our federation was formed. Piapot had a lot to do with that, of the founding of our organization. And all the things that we enjoy today, whether it's the SIGA Framework Agreement, whether it's TLE, whether it's prevention, whether it's child welfare, payouts that are happening now, and all these class actions, all are possible today because of what Chief Piapot and the leaders of his day did that carries on here today. So you have a rich history to be proud of, Piapot. I know our family loves Piapot very much. I had 4 siblings married into this reserve. So I always say, I don't know what you put in the water, but my family seems to love it here. I had 3 sisters and now a brother marrying. So you better be good to Thomas. Don't be mean to him. Because he's a part of the family. But on behalf of Chief Bobby Cameron, we thank you, all of you, for being here today. All of you for taking the time to come and celebrate such a historic day. And we've got work to do yet. It's not over. Hey, Ovid, we've got lots of work to do yet. This Bill C-5, taking a position on that. We're not going to allow Canada to build pipelines through our territories and give us pennies. We deserve to own and be at the forefront of any development of resources in our territories for our nations and for our chiefs that are sitting here. And that's something that we're going to continue to fight for at your federation and in our positions. So, Kachim Miigwech, ahau, let's have a good day and enjoy ourselves. It's a good day to be alive. Ahau.
Let's give them a big, big round of applause. And if you spin it around, Chief, we got a gift for you. We got a gift for you on behalf of the the committee that put this event together. Next one, we'd like to call up Piapot Council, Jaylene Francis and Crystal Crow.
Like right now? Yeah.
Let's make some noise as they come to the podium.
Oh my. Good morning, and I would like to give thanks this morning for our Elder Jumbo for lifting the pipe for us to start us off in a good way, our Cookham Sylvia for being here and honoring us with her presence and her prayers and her blessings here today. I'd like to give thanks to all of our chiefs for coming out and participating here on our 150th commemoration. And all of our visitors who come from far and wide to come here and celebrate this great day with us. This is in regards to our treaty. I don't think that we speak about it often enough. Education is the way to go, and I'm glad that I and my colleague here were a part of putting this all together, because I tell you, you think you know something and you learn more. So with this process and putting on the event, with all of the ideologies that was learned here, these are going to be passed on towards our school. It's going to be put in our school systems. We're going to talk about the treaty. We hear about them, but how much of us actually know about the treaties? So I'm really proud to say that the more we talk about the treaties, the more we understand, the more we can pass on to our younger generations who will be standing here before us one day, leading the way for us. So we have to pass that knowledge. Our knowledge keepers. Piapot is very, very rich and fortunate with our culture. We have things that have been passed on, like was mentioned earlier, a couple hundred years ago. We still carry that. We are truly, truly blessed with the knowledge keepers that we have and the young gentlemen who have picked that up. Now it is time to pass on some of that treaty knowledge to our children so that they can carry the legacy out and really get to know and understand treaty. I thank you all for coming here, and please enjoy the castle with our tribal chief, Jeremy. Enjoy your day. Hi, hi.
Dante. Thank you, Councillor Crystal, Chief, and our speakers before us, before myself. My name is Jaylene Francis. I sit on Council of Piapot First Nation. I want to, first of all, give thanks to everyone who's come here today and support this commemorative event. As mentioned, give thanks to our Elder Murray, Cookham Sylvia, and all the elders out there. Again, as mentioned before, I don't want to name names. I'll forget people, so forgive me for that. Our dignitaries, our speakers, there for us to help lead. I want to thank our council for the support that they provided, our singers and the beautiful drum song, the honor song that they've come to sing. And not only that, but our departments out there. As you'll see around the arbor here, we have our departments that are setting up. They've always been there for us when it comes to our big celebrations, our powwows, or any community events. Everybody pulls together very quickly. As I reflect a little bit on this journey when it came to the planning, I've had mixed feelings. Today we know marks the day, 150th commemoration. My mixed feelings are of sorrow, but also of resilience. It reminds us of a time that changed for our people because they had to. There was a new reality that our people had to adapt to. So with that comes the feelings of resiliency. Our people are strong with strength, rich in culture and language. And we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our elders, our people before us, instilling all the value and hard work, and for us to work together. We wouldn't be here with what we have. So that's something that I've tried to reflect differently as we go about today. That, yes, it's a bit of a sorrow time because we no longer have what we once had, once our ancestors once had to live so freely amongst the plains and prosperous food and living a different life to what it is today. But again, we've adapted and we're still here and we're going strong. So just to remind everybody for today, our founding chief, had to sign because of those forced changes. But also to remind that he left with us a guiding principle, and that's to love one another. You can see that in the back, in our backdrop. You'll see that within the swag. You'll see that in our medals and in our coins, to love one another. So that's one thing that I do want to emphasize furthermore as we continue to move forward together on this journey in working together, is to continually love one another. Look at yourselves, look inside yourself. What does that look like? And then being able to do that for yourself, and then to your community, to your people, to your families. So I'll just leave it at that. Again, thank you for everybody who's attended. Much, much appreciated. I love you all.
Let's give them a big round of applause as they step aside. On behalf of the committee, we'd like to present you with a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, our MLA, ladies and gentlemen, to acknowledge, we'd like to call our MLA, Brad Grasswheeler. Did I say your name right, Brad?
Crass.
He said I said his name right.
You still want us to give the gifts, or is Chief giving?
Yep, you guys can give the gifts.
That's what I said, Grasswheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him to the podium with a round of applause. Our MLA, Brad. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. It's Crassweller, so we're real close, but just a tremendous honor and privilege to be with you here today as you celebrate, and just an opportunity to meet so many great individuals here. Ovid McCurdy, so great to meet you. Cadmus and Chief Fox, and everyone's here. So thank you very much for the time. Thank you for the honor and privilege of being here to be able to speak with you. And as your MLA, I just want to reiterate to you that when I campaigned, I'm a small business owner that's turned politician, and I campaigned on that I'll listen, I will learn, and I will lead. And so I look forward to many times of getting together to listen, to learn, and to lead. Because life's about relationship, and I look forward to developing those relationships with all of you. So thank you very much, and again, congratulations. Thank you.
Hey, let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, it's good to hear our MLAs. And I came close to saying his last name, but we'll fix it up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's call up next to the podium our Chief of Papikasi's Chief Frank Dieter.
Thank you. First of all, every time I public speak, I always acknowledge our Creator God for allowing us all to wake up and gather here. Wherever you go, at any gathering, I always say that. You know, my family is so close to the Piapot Nation. The person who lifted that pipe today is actually my cousin, my brother. His late mother and my late mother were sisters. Jumbo, I say thank you for lifting that pipe. My mother's mother come from here. She was a Crow, Elizabeth Crow. You know, every time I come here, I always think of, I didn't know my mom's mom, but I knew my mom's sister, Coquemala Swanson. She was also a Crow. Every time I come here, that's who I think of right away as my Coquemala. She used to tell us stories when I was a little guy about Piapot, especially about this river here, this little creek, and the hills back there. Stories of when she was a little girl, of little people. You know, to this day, I miss those stories. To Chief Fox, I want to say thank you for inviting me. My Kukam, Mempha Dieter, also married a Kashawatam. I don't know who they are, and I apologize. JB Kashawatam. See, that's how we needed to be educated like that. I don't know who JB is or who his kids are. But I know I'm closely related to the Kashawatams, to the Crows from Piapot here. I don't know if I have any relations in Muskowhegan or Pasqua or Standing Buffalo. I almost did. My son was dating a a lady from Pasqua, Standing Buffalo. I got lots of relations back home on Fire Hills, Okanese. That's where my dad come from. My dad's dad came from. My grandfather, Fred Dieter. My grandmother, Jessie Dieter, she was a Cummings. She came from the Star Blanket Cree Nation. And I have nations in a little black bear. To the drum group, thank you for those songs. To the visiting chiefs, thank you for traveling from your home fires. To everybody that spoke before me, I'm glad I'm kind of I'm not last to speak, because when you're last, you kind of sound like a broken record because you're repeating. Everybody has their own version of treaties, and me too. I'm learning every day about our treaties. But there's one treaty that I always do every day of my life, and I'm watching that Muniao out there. I think he's a Muniao. There he is over there. He's bailing. Must be a Muniao because he has brand new equipment. So, Métis. I'm watching them, and that's what I do. 365 days since 2004. And it's hard trying to be a leader and practice your treaty right to agriculture. But I'm doing it. My great-grandfather did it. His dad did it. My dad did it. Now I'm doing it. I'm hoping one of my kids take it up. So with that, I don't want to take too much time, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to witness the 150th commemorative anniversary of the signing of Chief Piapot. And with that, we did want to say we forgot to mention one person in my delegation. That's Hedman Desi Denemy, a very, very funny guy. So he's also a minister, and he's just a funny guy. So with that, Chief, I want to say thank you to you and your council and to your people of Piapot Nation. Hi, thank you very much.
Let's give Chief Frank Dieter a big round of applause.
I got to get going, Chief.
Yes, I know, yeah.
As you do a 360, Chief Frank Dieter, they're going to present you with a little gift. Thank you for being here. At the same time, we'd like to call up Chief Muscapine, Chief Melissa Tavira. Chief Melissa Tavira.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good job. The most humbling experience is roll call. They make every chief nervous because I think he just does that purposely and announce our names incorrectly, but he's keeping us humble as leaders. I just want to thank Chief Fox and Council for inviting us. It was one of the things that I didn't want to miss. I thank the drum group and the ones that lifted the pipe this morning and the elder for the prayer. I think that our history is very important to us. And in Muscapine, we're not strong on history and culture, but we're learning. We're learning of who we were and where we come from, and it's a powerful moment when you learn about who you are. And I envy Piapot for knowing their culture, their history. They have a book on their culture and their history. And I used to always say, one day Muscapine will have that same book. We'll have our history of who we were as people, who our chiefs were. And they're absolutely correct when they say that it's a powerful moment to know who you are and where you come from. And today I didn't want to miss. I asked my council to be here because this is important to support other nations in what they're doing. It's important as leaders to show that you support whatever they're doing. As Chief Pratt spoke about bringing our artifacts home, Muscapine went to Chicago to look at our artifacts. And it was a powerful moment around the room because that was our history. One of our EAs, Tristan, spoke about hearing stories, but to actually see something that was over 100 years old that came from Muscapine. It made our hearts happy, sad, but happy. And I give credit to our past leaders who represented our community because they were the strong ones. They were resilient, as Councillor said. They made a way for us and they paved the way for us so we can be here today. And I think that it's awesome that they're honoring their history, their people, their past chief, who they are. And I wouldn't miss it for the world today to be here. So I thank everybody for coming and supporting Piapot. I thank the leadership for inviting us. And I'm gonna get a picture of Tribal Chief in those bouncy tents. He promised he'd go in a bouncy tent. So thank you. I won't speak long, but thank you. Hi, Miigwech.
All right, let's give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give her a blanket for being here, and we're gonna go over to Chief Tony Travers of the, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get a little bit of whisper on how do you say it again? Kinojistagon First Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call them to the podium, Treaty 4 territory.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to send greetings from Kinojistagon First Nation, Treaty 5, and from Manitoba. I'd like to thank my daughter, Tabitha Harper, for doing the work that she does for the Manitoba Museum, the repatriation of the items that were stolen from Piapot First Nation, and the work that she does for the Manitoba Museum. But once again, I'd like to send greetings from Treaty 5. I know next week we're doing a Treaty 5 celebration too for the signing of our Treaty 5 in Manitoba. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone for showing up, and thanks for Chief Mark Fox for inviting me, and the chiefs from the Treaty 4. Thank you. Awesome. Yep.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have a presentation on behalf of the RCMP and the treaty signing. I'm going to turn the microphone over here to the Constable Dale Spelchin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give him the microphone and.
Oh, I got a mic here. Howie, here you go. This mic.
All right, get your own mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Corporal Dale Spelchin from South RCMP, born and raised in Kenora, Saskatchewan. It's Constable Megan Wackel from South RCMP, born and raised in Lipton, Saskatchewan. I'd like to thank Caroline Francis for the invite. I'd like you to know that South RCMP understand and acknowledge we are on treaty grounds. We, the South RCMP, also understand that we respect and honor the treaty signing from 150 years ago. We, the RCMP, also understand and remember the mistakes that have been made, and in the spirit of reconciliation, we move forward in peace and harmony. And I don't get the mic very often, so on a personal matter, I'd like to take the opportunity here to recognize an elder by the name of Dan Cashane. For those of you who don't know Dan Cashane, as a young 16-year-old boy, I was playing hockey for the St. Philip's Rangers on Keesakoos, and he was my billet parent, along with his lovely wife, Chip Cashane. Dan Cashane, he would talk to me at the dinner table about residential schools, and I did not know what that was. But Dan educated me on that, and Dan has since passed on, and I would like to thank him for that. And without further ado, Megan and I would like to present a Mountie and Red Surge with a leader of First Nation community to Chief and Council here at Piapot First Nation. So Chief Fox.
And here's the presentation, cameras, pictures, Piapot people, come and take a picture. They're gonna pose with it right here in the front. Kind of move to the front there, Chief, a little bit to the front, along with the RCMP. Don't get nervous.
Okay, good.
You got the picture?
Where's, can I get a councilor Burl up here, take a picture of us?
We need a counselor that has minutes on their phone.
Bring your Fido phone here. There he is.
Okay, pose again, guys, pose again. All right, as the gift giving, thank you to RCMP. One more time, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. When you give them a big round of applause, that kind of neutralizes your speeding ticket, so you're good to go. We're going to call up, ladies and gentlemen, our former AFN chief. He's going to talk on a little bit on our treaties. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Let's call him up to the podium. Chief Ovid Mercurdy. Mercurdy.
Thank you. Well, I gotta hold it or. I want to thank Chief Fox and his council for inviting me to be part of your commemoration of 150 years of Treaty 4. And I also want to thank Elder Murray for the prayer this morning, the pipe ceremony, where he asked for gratitude to Chief Piapot for his vision to have some kind of a relationship with a settler, but in a manner that our people would rise together with them. So we acknowledge his vision. And also, I wanted to mention that my treaty is Treaty 5. It's 150 years old this year too. And it has never been honored by the country. So commemoration is different from celebration. So someday, it's my wish that I will celebrate Treaty 5. But for that to happen, the country has to honor that treaty. Not just the spirit and intent, as they speak about in the courts, but what our people intended, what they actually wanted to achieve going forward, making sure that we had a future as a people. Not to be assimilated into a new society, but for us to carry on as distinct people. That tipene miswek to our freedom as a people. And I want to also mention this young girl here, Aberly, the young girl there wearing pink. That's my new girlfriend, right there, yeah. Because everywhere I go, I make a girlfriend, right? And 30 years ago, I came here when I was national chief, and I was reminded this morning by Barbara LaValle that I participated in the ceremony with Elder LaValle at that time. She told me he has passed on since. She would have been my girlfriend then. But I think it's time for a new one. So, what more can I say but to express gratitude to Chief Piapot for what he stood for. And what little knowledge I had of him, he believed in our sovereignty, not just for his community, but the sovereignty of the nation, Naheu Ininwak, the sovereignty of the Naheu Ininwak. So that would be like the sovereignty of the Dakota and so on, the sovereignty of the Dene. He believed that we should have our own vast territory, not the reserves that were set aside. But he wanted to make sure that we maintained our way of life, and he understood that the only way to achieve that is to maintain control and jurisdiction of your lands and your resources. Of your lands and your resources. That's what he had in mind. Maga, so when we look around today, we know that's not what happened. The reverse happened. And that's why we have to maintain this vigilance of our rights. Not to give up on the recognition of our treaties and the implementation of our treaties in our lifetime. Because a promise, even on their side, if you were to believe what they wrote, even on their side, they said that the Queen Victoria, would share her benevolence with our people, and that it would be done through sharing the bounty of the land. And you know that if you were to do any research today in Saskatchewan or in Alberta or Manitoba, in terms of the resources that have been extracted from our territories, it amounts to the trillions, not billions, but in the trillions. And we have not seen any evidence of the benevolence of the Queen and the sharing of the bounty of the land. We have not seen it. That's why we can't be satisfied with platitudes from the Crown by the governments. And the funding that we do receive does not compare to the wealth of the country. Because even now in dire times, as they say, they're having difficulty because of tariffs. They're able to find money to uphold their corporations, to provide money for corporations that can carry on so that the businesses don't fail. We know that they have the capacity, if they wanted to fully implement the treaties with us on our terms. But we don't see it at the present time. When you speak about treaty, you're not only talking about their understanding, but our understanding too. And our understanding is in conflict with theirs. And that conflict is never fully defined in our favor, because whenever we have a different interpretation about our treaty rights, we go to their courts, which is a terrible mistake, because their courts will never fully understand or respect our rights as a people. And that we need to learn from other nations on how to coexist with a country that claims all our territory now. And we need to learn from the Maori people, for example, and create our own tribunal, our own treaty tribunal, so that any conflict of interpretation will not go to the White Court, but it will go to a tribunal jointly made by the country and ourselves, where we'd have a greater opportunity of having our version of the treaty implemented by the Crown and the government. And there is one message that I want to leave with you. I think 150 years is long enough to wait for the treaties to be honored. I think it's long enough. So, but we have to hold someone accountable for the fact that the treaties have not been respected by this country. And we need to go back to the source of the treaty, which is the British Crown, which is Queen Victoria. And we need to go back to that country and say to them, we want you to honor the words of your past queen, Queen Victoria, because the country where we reside right now is not implementing or honoring our understanding of that treaty, or for that matter, even their understanding of the treaty is not being implemented properly. Now, why would we go back there? Well, you remember the time when Pierre-Elliott Trudeau was Prime Minister? He wanted to patriate the Constitution, and it was opposed by the chiefs across the country. And the opposition came from the prairie provinces from British Columbia coast to coast. And the reason why our chiefs didn't want the patriation of the Constitution is because they didn't trust Canada would honor the treaties. That's why they went to the House of Lords, and they initiated a court action in the House of Lords. And a judge called Judge Denning made a decision. And that decision is legal fiction. What he said was this: the crown is divisible, which means the crown of Queen Victoria is different and can be divided to the Queen in Canada. The crown is divisible. It's their way of washing their hands of their responsibility for the treaties that their crown made 150 years ago. And we can't let them do that. So I call on the leadership, the elders, and our people to start raising money, because time is not on our side. Time is not on our side. History is. History is on our side. And we have to relive that history that Chief Piapot understood when he made treaty, that the treaty was with the Queen Victoria, because all those representations that were made in the treaty talks were made in her name, not in the name of a guy called John A. Macdonald. He was too drunk to attend any meetings to begin with. That's my gripe. Anyway, so when we go to London, we have to show them where the mistake was made, because the mistake was made in 1670 when King Charles II gave away our land to his relative, Prince Rupert, and they created a landmass called Rupert's Land. And Rupert's Land covered all of Saskatchewan, all of Northern Ontario, all of Manitoba, most of Alberta. And that land belonged for some time to the Hudson Bay Company. And when Canada was formed in 1867, they had no land to expand to. But you know what they did? They went to the British government to negotiate the transfer of Rupert's Land to Canada. And the British government passed a law called the Rupert's Land Act. Two years before they came to make treaty with us. So they already assumed that the land that was called Rupert's Land was theirs before they came to see us. I say egigumutachik, we know. I say egigumutachik, they already stole it, because that was stolen land in 1670. And you cannot correct the stolen property by making it legislative, like a Rupert's Land Act that the British Parliament did. So we have a lot to talk about here, and a new strategy to develop. We can't stay focused on this country. We cannot trust this country, because 150 years is long enough, I think, to wait for them to do something. So that is my message. I know it's very political, but I am political. And our relationship with them is not legal. That's the other thing I want you to understand. Our relationship with the Crown, the Crown and the government of this country, is not legal. It's political. It's political. Because if we say it's legal, then we are agreeing that in 1670 what King Charles II did was legal. That when Canada had given that land to them by the British Crown, called Rupert's Land, 2 years before they came to see us, was legal. That the NRTA was legal because it all flows together. We cannot say our relationship is legal with them. Our relationship is political. Nation to nation, government to government. I'll end my talk there. And I want to dedicate my presentation here to my new girlfriend over there. Can I ask him it now? Can I ask him it now? Can I ask him it now?
All right, let's
Thank
give
you,
him
Ovid.
Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Chief Ovid Mercredi and his new girlfriend. He went to all over Canada, so every province he's got one, and every territory he's got one. So he's got a jogging partner and a caddy everywhere he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Chief Ovid Mercredi. We'd like to call up to the podium, ladies and gentlemen, a friend of all of ours here, and ladies and gentlemen, and she's no stranger to our powwows, our gatherings, and our treaties, to acknowledge our and to understand us. Ladies and gentlemen, NDP leader Carla Beck, come forward. As she comes forward, ladies and gentlemen, we'll put our Piapot hands together, pay her off with a big round of applause. And there she is right here, our NDP leader.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
I want to say thank you, Howie, for that very, very warm introduction. And I just want to say thank you for the tobacco and for the opportunity to speak to you today. I'll keep my remarks short because I think there's a lot to be learned by sitting and listening. I want to acknowledge Chief Fox for the invitation and thank him for the opportunity to be here, as well as all of the leadership that we see on this stage today. 150 years commemorating the treaty. I think it's an opportunity, as the organizers have said, to honor the past and to think about the future. To think about the importance of promises that have been made and to understand promises that have not yet been kept. It wasn't that long ago that I had opportunity to stand under this arbor for the powwow celebration here and spoke about the young dancers that were there that day, the young ones who were in attendance. And as the leader of the Saskatchewan NDP, I find it's important to center ourselves on what the purpose of leadership is, how we want to work together, and how we measure success. I think one of those ways is how well we keep our word and how well we make decisions today that are going to set those young ones up for success. As the leader of the Saskatchewan NDP, it's always important to me that we are making decisions that are going to ensure that every child every person, but especially every child in this province, has the opportunity for a good life. I know that that is something that the leadership here, Chief Fox, Council, the leadership that is up on this stage with us today, is thinking about too, when we talk about the future. I think it's always an honor to hear Ovid Mercredi speak. There are so many instances where that opportunity has not been the same in this province, where promises have not been kept. I come here to listen, and I come here in that spirit to work with leadership, to work with communities, to ensure that the decisions we make today ensure that over the next 150 years, the spirit of those treaties is honored, and that we do justice to all of these little ones who are here today to ensure that we set them up for a good life. With that, I want to say thank you again to Chief Fox for the invitation to be here. I want to say congratulations on all of the work that has gone into this celebration today. And I look forward to more opportunities to sit together, to learn, and to build that better future for all children in this province. Thank you.
All right, let's give her a big round of applause as we gift her with a blanket and a braid of sweet grass, car keys, pack of cigarettes. Oh, I was just adding on.
All right, I'm gonna start handing.
We're at that time, ladies and gentlemen, where we're going to present some medals that we have here, treaty medals. Good to see you. Oh, my goodness. All right. We'd like to ask you to come to the podium and come and receive one of these treaty medal gifts, ladies and gentlemen. Our first all saying the prayer, opening us up with a good prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring them up to the front right here. Let's Elder Murray Ironchild.
Any council, if you want to come up, please feel free.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we honor these people with these sacred medals that are very true to our treaties. And we'd like to give him a big round of applause as he receives this medal with some pictures. Piapot Council, come up here, Piapot Council. Piapot Council. Oh, here they come. All the Piapot Council gather around. Ladies and gentlemen, and there's the medal. Let's give them a big round of applause. We'd like to call up our next medalist, our elder, ladies and gentlemen, helping us out, always being in the front and center. Elder Sylvia Obi. She retired a bingo champion. Is she here? Elder Sylvia? Okay. While Elder Sylvia is coming in line, we'd like to call up Elder Art Francis. Come on up. Also, to receive a medal, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Ovid McCurdy. Also to receive a medal, ladies and gentlemen, Shelby Alexis from Chief Shelby Alexis from Opabin. Also, we'd like to call up Chief Carolyn Wahobin, Nicanete First Station. We'd like to call up FHQ Tribal Chief Jeremy Forehorn. We'd like to call up Chief Frank Dieter, Papikassis First Station. And to receive a medal, ladies and gentlemen, Cabness Delorme and Thomas Benjo. If there's any medals left over, let us know. To all the medalists, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our brown hands together. Let's give them a big round of applause. Just for a little bit of Gulf history, when Cabness was running for chief in Cowes First Station, he made some golf balls that said vote for Cabness, and people are still finding them in the bushes today. It's just like Shaq O'Neal. He put on Facebook. Shaq O'Neal. He says, "I wonder why I'm losing so much hair. Wonder why I lost all my hair." And LeBron James rebutted him and answered him. He says, "You lose a hair for every free throws you miss."
Tom. Put it around his neck. Deborah. Naomi. Get in here, Tom. And take a Who's the next one?
Also, we'd like to call up Margaret Rock Thunder. Margaret Rock Thunder. Come and receive a medal. Also, on behalf of the chief of Piapot, he says you now could smoke in this arena today. Ah.
Okay, that's the medal presentation, and now we're going to give our visiting chiefs a gift. I'll let Tom, I'll bugger up if I try to get in here.
All right, we're going to give the rest of the blankets out. We have some names you want to call? You have some names you want to call?
Chief Shelley Bear, well, Chapways. Chief Roger Redmond, Standing Buffalo, Tatanka Najin. Someone dropped their coins there. Chief Fabian Arneagle, Pasqua Nation. Chief Charlie Bear, Chakachaz. Chief Rosa Wahobin, Nikanit. Nikanit. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's all the chiefs?
All right. We're going to do the flag thing.
No, we have one presentation left. Yeah. We're just about done. I'm going to give the mic to Councillor Francis. We just have one more presentation, and then We're going to do a close song, and then we're going to carry on with the agenda.
Thank you, Chief. We're just going to call up the One Hoop team who would help coordinate and plan the event of today. We'll call up Caroline, Fearance, Brandon, Cree, and Brooklyn. Fearance, Caroline, Brandon, Brooklyn, and Cree.
We didn't make anything for them.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the drum group for our Piapot flag song. That flag song that we're going to be rendering here was composed by our band member, late Bush Cashewatum, and the boys, the Cashewatum singers. They made the Treaty 4 song. And we'd like to all gather around this big, this Jumbotron right here as we sing the flag song. So.
It's a video. Yeah. It's going to be a video they're going to play.
Do you want them
there's sound and everything.
You want them to gather around that?
Sure. Yep.
We want to encourage you to come and gather around this big Jumbotron. We got it out of Thomas's living room, so we got to take it back pretty quick. It's going to go back to the pawn shop. We just use it for a little bit, old ways. All right, we're going to have you gather around and face that Jumbotron, but before we turn that Jumbotron on, we're going to go to our very own flag song, our Treaty 4 song.
We're going to sing the Chief song first, they said.
Okay. We're going to sing the Chief song first. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our very own Chief song. Then we'll go to our Treaty 4 flag song that was composed by the Cashewatum singers here at the Piapot First Nation. For those of you who got a blanket and you want to come and get your box, come and get your boxes. They're all up here. If you want to put them back in a box and re-gift them. Old ways. Old ways. All right, here we go, singers. thank you. At this time, we're going to come back to the singers here for our very own flag song from Piapot, Treaty 4. That song was composed right here at Piapot First Station by the Cashwatam Singers and the late Bush Cashwatam. Ladies and gentlemen, our flag song. And then after the flag song, we're going to go to the Jumbotron, so all the people in the shadows come on over here and gather around. It's got some speakers. We're going to sing them loud and proud. Here we go, singers. As we gather around that big Jumbotron, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to turn it on. At this time, we would like to take a moment to share with you the background of the Piapot First Nation flag. When the project was first started, there were many discussions whether we should change it or not, whether we have a new design should come forward. We realized that many of our community members do not understand the importance and the meaning of the Piapot flag. What we came to realize was that our flag is not just a design, but something that was built upon ceremony. It carries songs, teachings, and the voice of those who came before us. This realization sparked the need to educate our community about the flag we have today. To do this work, we returned to the heart of the nation, of our elders. We sat with them, with the very same elders who were present when this flag was first unveiled during the 135th Commemoration event. They share these memories, they share the teachings, and they share the knowledge about the flag and what it truly represents. We know that questions arise about the future. Questions will arise about our future. And it is our elders that we return for guidance and clarity. With their words leading the way, one hope, along with the guidance of our counselor, Jaylee Francis and Crystal Crow, work together to gather these teachings and stories as they pass forward to our people and our future generations. Our flag continues to stand as a teaching tool and a reminder of who we are, our sovereignty, our resilience, and our unity of the Piapot First Nation. Each part of the flag carries a teaching. The black represents protection of contrary spirit. It honors our veterans that served as a shield for our community and survival. Our oral tradition connects us to this color to the safe return of our soldiers from World War II and beyond, reminding us of the sacrifices that they made. Red signifies life, red signifies the fire, and red signifies survival. It reflects our buffalo teachings and represents our blood, our lifeblood, our people. Yellow symbolizes the sunrise, new beginning, new blessings, and continuation of our nation's strength. And the two stars honor Chief Piapot himself and his grandmother who passed down the teachings that still guide us today. These stars anchor our flag and our family, archaeology, our ancestral strength, and beyond, and to keep us together. Piapot flag is a sacred object. It is carried in song, raised in ceremony, and treated with utmost respect throughout smudging, feasting, and prayers. It is our flag that belongs to every Piapot member, no matter where they live upon this beautiful God's green earth. As Chief Piapot himself once said, "Love one another." Our flag carries that teaching forward. Please return to the screen for a short video. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the air.
It is an important time in our band history because we acquired so much land. It wasn't for us, it was for our children's children's children. So that is the most important thing. So along with our flag, the importance of land and what land means to a First Nation person, that's our land, that's your land. And going forward, like our children's children are going to have land, and when they grow up, and hopefully this land will be able to support them, and hopefully the flag will fly over them and then give them direction also. I think it's identity because we have to come together as a First Nation. We have to be able to identify ourselves. We have our language, we have our culture, we have each other, we have our future. But we need something to galvanize us together, to make us recognizable, not just in our community, but the surrounding communities, and then also make it because of our youth. As our youth grow up and our youth become adults, hopefully they go out into the corporate world and they take our flag, our identity with them to hopefully to remind themselves where they're from, to remind themselves that they have a community, to remind themselves they have a culture, they have a language, they have identity.
So on the flag you'll see 2 stars, and there's actually like a long story of why we have 2 stars, but in brief, 1 star represents Chief Piapot, and the 2nd star represents Chief Piapot's grandmother. So there's a story in our community where was very, very young, toddler or even younger. The tribe, the community, the band thought he might have contracted smallpox. And at the time, smallpox was a very dangerous thing to have. It could endanger the entire camp, the entire band, right? So what they did is in order to save the band, Chief Piapot was kind of abandoned, left, and kind of kicked out almost in a sense, right? Abandoned and left. But he wasn't left alone. His grandmother stayed with him. So that's how come the 2 stars. So they were left behind as the camp was moving. And the story goes that there was another tribe of Sioux people that came by, found them, and took them in. So for the next few years, Chief Piapot and his grandmother became part of the Sioux band, and he spoke Sioux, grew up with the Sioux culture. And when Chief Piapot became a teenager, they somehow found their way back to a Cree band, another Cree band. So when Chief Piapot and his grandmother got back to a Cree band, a Cree tribe, they gave him a new name. They called him Piapot, which means knows the Sioux or knows the secrets of the Sioux people, because he just came from a Sioux band, right? A Sioux tribe. He grew up with the Sioux tribe. So he knows the secrets of the Sioux. So we have a word for that. So we'll call him that, Piapot, like knows the secrets of the Sioux people. So that's how come he has that name.
But for me, how I heard it is, red representing life, yellow, the 2 yellow stars, and yellow again from the east, a new beginning, and then black. Black for us here in our community represents, a different spirit that we acknowledge in all our gatherings, our ceremonies. So today, modern day, since World War I and World War II, we've always had black in all our gatherings. One reason why, when our men and women were going to be shipped off to Halifax, that enlisted our ceremonial people, brought them all together. They called on that spirit and brought these enlisted men and women to sit in there, asking the spirit to watch over our men and women that are going to go out. Yeah, they went out to war, experience what happens there, wounded prisoners of war, things like that. But they all came home alive.
Take pride in your family bloodline. Take pride in the community that you come from. Always be kind to each other and move ahead and progress. But take your time and just take your time and be cautious, but not, don't be proud, and but not be boastful.
All right, that was it. And Councillor Crow is going to pass the hat around, collect some money. Oh, I was just kidding. This guy says everything. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for that video. Whoever made that video was awesome. They hit the point right on. Thank you. Thank you, One Hoop, and thank you for putting this together. It's not, the day's not over. We're just now beginning. And we're going to serve lunch, right? We're going to be serving stuff. We're going to have a feast right away. And thank you all those speakers that came. And thank you very much. So kind of shake hands and visit around just a little bit as we go. And those of you who want to come and take some pictures of some of the dignitaries that are here, more than welcome to do so. Come and take a picture up at the stage with the background right here. Come on up here.
No one's gonna take our spot. We're the only jump. Leave the gym.
No, Georgina might come take our spot.
Hola. Our forsaken Thunderbirds. Our forsaken Thunderbirds. Make it rain. It's a medal. The only medal you'll ever win. Huh? I'm gonna go pawn it now. What? I don't want a picture with that. Pictures with Councillor Crow. No, I'm good. You're gonna go fucking pawn it now, bro. No. You'll only get 5 cents. You'll only get a nickel. This is 150 years old. Don't say. You know, I grew up here.
Stick store.
No, bro. Just